What's going on, guys, and welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. It's colder than my damn ex-wife's heart in this damn building today. Maybe the guy that runs this place turned the damn heat on every once in a while. God, cheap ass. Anyway, it's funny. I was talking to a few of my friends. I got to be careful with these stories because you can incriminate yourself among others really quickly, and you guys are pretty smart, and Google's a hell of a device. It's a great tool for finding things out. You know, my life has been a whirlwind the last 5 years. I have done things that I never dreamed possible. You gotta understand, 5 years ago, I was a guy that sold collector cars and ran a diesel truck shop. You know, next thing you know, I'm going to SEMA. Next thing you know, I'm meeting this guy. Next thing you know, I'm hosting a radio show sort of worldwide. Next thing you know, doing car shows every weekend. Next thing you know, you're taking selfies and people are actually listening to this radio show, which is nuts. You know, it blows up. And then, you interview this one weird guy, from Atlanta that holds the record for the cannonball. The next thing you know, you go down and shoot some YouTube videos. It's insane how this has snowballed. And to tell you that, I got to stop there to tell you where we're actually headed with this. It's so funny meeting your heroes. And you got to understand, working in radio and of course with this stuff and, the pilots I've shot before and even upcoming projects I'm working on now, I've got to meet people that I've saw on TV for years. Shoulder to shoulder. Like just normal people, and they are just normal people. But it's funny, people will come up to me and you want to take a selfie or come by the warehouse or whatnot, and I love it. I always make a point to be everything I'm supposed to be. I'm not saying be something you're not, but you know what I'm saying. Everybody has a bad day, but when I see somebody that traveled to come here, I want to make sure that I give them an experience. You want to sit in a red chair, take a selfie, knock yourself out, bud. You want to talk about cars, we can talk about cars. You know what I mean? I want to hear your stories. Where are you from? What you doing? What you driving? Oh man, and I love that. I love that interaction, whether it be at an event or at the mall or at the airport, fireworks stand, getting milk at the grocery store, Dollar General. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, it's so funny how this is growing. But a funny is meeting your heroes. And, there's some of these guys that are everything you think they are. And I'm not here to name names. This isn't spoilers or anything like that. There's some that leave a little to be desired. And to the point that really turn you off. And the thing I love about doing radio is radio interviews were totally different than doing like a television interview. You don't have a 4-inch camera in front of or 4-inch lens in front of your face. You have, you're sitting there, you're on the phone and you're talking and you could talk, usually 20, 30 minutes, we just shoot the shit back and forth and be like, hang on, let me bring you in. Da-da-da-da. And it's like, them, you build that little connection there, and laugh, a couple funny jokes, get them giggling just a little bit. And like I said, Shirley Muldowney, all these famous people that I've got to be around, Richard Rollins, JJ DeBoss, that's a story in itself. All these people that I got to interview, Dave Kendig, I feel like that name dropper guy, Travis Bell, eat your heart out. I have, and I love it. But also being in these circles, and I want to go ahead and throw a warning out now. I'm not saying I rub elbows with these people. I'm still holding it down for the SC, and ain't none of them here. Chip Foos. But Aaron Kaufman. You meet people that you put up here. And I even have guys like that in my life that I have done that with. And still do. And the thing is, it's weird, is the guys that I think are the coolest on TV are not necessarily the most popular, but they're the ones that make shit happen. Like, they're truly a talented person. And then you got some guys who are just comedically funny or whatever, and I like them too. So this is kind of a two-parter a little bit, but just hang with me. So we were at SEMA, and a really good friend of mine I brought with me. and this is way before the YouTube stuff and all, but we went to SEMA, and I love walking through the doors of SEMA, watching the person I brought with me's eyes light up, because literally when you walk in, it's lights and signs and just all this stuff, cars, beautiful cars everywhere, and you're in Sin City. I mean, it's just that whole atmosphere. And I mean, it's literally the biggest show on earth, automotive-wise. It was so funny. So my buddy comes in, and he's just starstruck. I mean, you got these people just walking around. You know, Chip Foose with his little entourage, he's changing shirts, going from booth to booth. Richard Rollins, you know, checking his hair, walking around. It's so neat, you know, you go take a leak and Aaron Kaufman's beside you, you know, or you go to, you know, an after party and there's, you know, all the girls from All Girls Garage are there. It's just neat. And they're normal people doing their thing, but you know, I mean, you're a little starstruck, you know, and even I still get like that a lot of times. You know, I mean, you're hanging out in Lou Santiago standing there just BSing with you. Saying he's seen your videos on YouTube, you're really funny. Lou Santiago's old school car guy, car fix, muscle car back in the Spike days, whatnot. But anyway, so moving on. My buddy's there and he's just all over himself. He's walking around and my buddy loved this one particular show, and I'm not gonna throw shade. And I'm not the biggest fan of it, is what it is. It's a duo on this show, I will say that. And one of them I really actually gotten to be pretty good friends with. The other one I still don't like to this day, strictly because of this. We were standing there and actually talking to a really good mutual friend of mine who was doing some interviews. And this guy from this very popular show walks up, and my buddy was like he just saw Elvis. And I mean, he was about to piss himself. He was so excited. He goes up and he goes, you think I could talk to him? He goes, hell yeah, he'll talk to you. So my buddy goes over and grabs my arms. Hey, he goes, you need to take a selfie with this guy. I think he wants to see you. He goes, I don't really have time for that. He turns back around, talking to his friends. The look on my friend's face broke my heart. Instantly, I lost every bit of respect I had for this guy. I mean, come on. You're BSing with some random guy. You couldn't took 30 seconds, 20 seconds. Take a selfie with him. Say, thanks for watching, bud. Give him a pat on the back, turn around, continue on. You know how many times I've stopped, just like now, stopped to take a call and, hell, just this week, we did financing on a truck. And of course, you got to do a walk around video for these finance companies. And I'm over here walking around. It was a FaceTime video. We're walking around the warehouse and I'm walking around this truck. And the guy said, I know that voice. He said, turn that camera around. And turn around and we talked for 15 minutes about Rabbit's used cars. He goes, I knew it was you. And he said, as soon as I heard that voice. But anybody else, you don't be short with people like that, because you got to understand, if it wasn't for you guys and those people, you wouldn't be where you're at. Never forget where you come from. You're never better than anybody else like that. And that really bothered me. So that was kind of a letdown. And like I said, the majority of these guys, they're real. They're all right, Stacey David, that's another one. Moving on. So moving in these circles and being in this the longer I have, something that's really interesting is some of the background stories you hear about these things, and these guys and these characters. Bear McGuire. You've got Wade Kawasaki. You got these guys that you've seen, you're like, man, he's always happy. Well, if you made $50 million a year, you'd be smiling too. Or if you just sold your company and you're basically the glorified mascot of it now. But some of these background stories, and you get trade war stories back and forth, things you've heard, things whatnot. You really realize how real these people are. And a funny story, like I said, I got to keep the details vague because I don't want to incriminate my friend, me, or the person we're talking of. This guy had a merch store, obviously, and he got in a little bit of trouble and he owed some back child support. And I remember a good friend of mine sending him a whole load of free merch that he could sign to bail him out, basically, in his time of need. And this guy has been on lots and lots of television, lots and lots of YouTube videos, lots and lots of everything, was a shock to me when I heard this. And then I actually met him, and then I seen it, because you could just tell. There again, we're not here to throw you under the bus. It's kind of here to kind of remind you, at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with putting you guys up on a pedestal. That's your boys, you know? And I love each and every one of you. The ones that put me right here, I'm not there. But, you know, right here, I'm happy. I'm like a fat girl with prom. I'm just happy to be here. I ain't saying don't meet your heroes because they're going to be a letdown, because they're not. There's a lot of them that are super good people. I guess it's kind of like a life lesson, actually. You know, they're no different from anybody else. You're going to meet some people in your life that will be the best people you ever meet. And you're going to meet some people in your life that you wish you never did. And just because you're on TV, radio, YouTube, really don't matter. If you're shit, you're shit. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars. And I'm trying to play it cool. You know, I really am. And sorry, I can't take your call right now. Got a bigger name on the other line. So, that being said,